Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to the 6th episode of the Ramadan series Motivations. Today's motivation comes from an ayah from the Quran combined with a personal experience. So the ayah is from Surah Al-Fussilat, ayah number 33. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. A rough translation is, who is better in speech than the one who calls to Allah, and he does righteous actions, and he says, indeed, I am among the Muslims, I am from the Muslims. So now keep this ayah in mind, and I will share with you a personal story. The first apartment that I rented after I graduated from the university was about 2 minutes walk away from Wan Chai Masjid, very close to Wan Chai Islamic Center. It's just across the street. And when I was about to rent that place, the agent showed me the studio, and then when I decided that, okay, I want to rent this place, he called the landlord for signing the contract. And when we were about to sign the contract, of course, it's the job of the agent to say something nice to both sides to ensure that this, this contractual agreement is on good ground. So out of nowhere, I've met the agent a few times before I met the landlord. So the agent already knew that I was a Muslim because maybe one day I was wearing Islamic clothing, or maybe one day I was wearing a cap, or maybe I told him that I'm a Muslim. But anyway, he knew that I'm a Muslim. So when I was about to sign the contract with the landlord, the agent out of nowhere said to the landlord that, you have nothing to worry about. He's a Muslim, and those Muslim people, they are very disciplined people. They don't drink alcohol and they don't party at night. So when he made that comment, although I knew it was for business reasons, it was because that he wants to make this deal happen, but still I felt quite warm in my heart, and I felt quite shocked, because when a lot of us, we would think that when we go to the masjid, when we do our Muslim things, we're just minding our own business, and the local people around us, they're minding their own business, and they're not paying attention to what we do. But what the agent just said showed us otherwise, right? They have been observing the Muslims. They have been evaluating the actions of the Muslims, so much so that he can use this for his own business. He made a quite accurate analysis of the Muslim behavior and lifestyle. So that's why, relating back to the ayah, no matter you like it or not, no matter you realize or not, you are an ambassador of Islam. When you claim to be a Muslim, other people will analyze you and evaluate you and have their own kind of understanding of Islam based on what they see in you. That is why you see in this ayah, Allah says, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّا دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ, who is better in speech than the one who calls to Allah. And when we think about da'wah, when we think about calling to Allah, the first thing that comes to our mind is, well, we should of course at least first identify ourselves as Muslims, right? When you think about da'wah, you are thinking, hi, I'm a Muslim, I want to tell you about Islam. But Allah says, who is better in speech than the one who calls to Allah, وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا, he does righteous deeds. That is before وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and he says that I am indeed among the Muslims. So it's almost as if saying that your actions should precede your self-identification. Your acting as a Muslim is perhaps more important than you claiming to be a Muslim. How amazing is that? This is the sequence of the ayah. And that is very true, right? Because people see your actions much more easily than your claims and than your theories. People observe your actions much more easily than they observe your rituals and your ideologies. So, like it or not, your actions become a representation of Islam, of what Islam teaches, of what Islam is all about. And also, why is it innani min al-muslimin, not innani muslimun, not I am a Muslim, but rather I am among the Muslims, I am from the Muslims? Because when you say that I'm a Muslim, you are not only making a declaration about your personal beliefs, you are making a declaration about your membership into a group identity, a transnational identity that involves more than 1.6 billion people, right? So again, like it or not, you as an individual Muslim living in Hong Kong can make an impact to somebody's perception of this 1.8 billion people in the world. I have heard many times from my local university friends they say that they've been to exchange in the UK or in the US, in some other countries, and they met some other Muslims over there, and that totally changed their perception of Islam. On the one hand, I'm happy for them, right? They have now a better and more positive impression of Islam. But on the other hand, I am also reflecting, I am also thinking that how come here in Hong Kong, in the universities or on the streets or anywhere, we haven't done as much as the Muslims in the West have done. So the conclusion is you are an ambassador and people are watching, and don't think that nobody noticed what you're doing as a Muslim. Every day when you go to a masjid and when you come out, people are observing your manners, especially when you have some noticeable traits as Muslims. When you have a big beard or when you wear religious clothing, people do pay attention. And it could be very simple. Our da'wah doesn't have to be an intellectual debate on a university level or in a academic paper. If you are not in that field, your da'wah can be as simple as smiling and holding the elevator door for somebody. That could be your da'wah ilallah, and people can change their perception of Islam just because of that one action, right? So let's remember that our da'wah should be mostly by action, and we are ambassadors of Islam. So let's watch ourselves in this blissful month. We are supposed to gain taqwa of Allah. We should be conscious of our relationship with Allah, and that by extension means we should be conscious of our actions and our the way we carry our identity as Muslims. Jazakumullahu khairan. See you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.